Hi everyone, welcome to this impression webinar, Smarter Ads and How AI is Helping Drive Programmatic Advertising Further. I'm Colette and I'm the Senior Programmatic Strategist here at Impression, and I'm really excited for today's session to tell you all about where the industry has been, where it's going, and also what this means for brands in our session today. So a little bit on what we'll be covering today. So we'll be starting with where programmatic started. We'll then be having a look at where AI is evolving in programmatic activations, and then how these advancements have helped our clients drive results, how AI is making impact media more accessible, and then our key takeaways. So let's get into it. So I think it's really important to note before we get started that when it comes to AI, programmatic has been ahead of the game for quite some time compared to other channels. But before we get into the AI itself, I just wanted to go back to basics a little bit so we can understand what programmatic actually means. So there's often a bit of a misconception around the term programmatic. And often people think it means something it doesn't. So to summarize exactly what it is that programmatic is, in a nutshell, it's the use of automation in buying and selling media. So it's not actually the media itself, but it's instead the way we buy said media. So generally speaking, the best way to describe it is the use of automation to buy digital advertising. And while the traditional method includes requests for proposals, tenders, quotes, and negotiations directly with the seller, programmatic buying uses algorithmic software to buy and sell those online spaces. So, what media can actually be bought programmatically? The most commonly known is video or display ads across websites and apps. But it's actually much more than this. We can actually buy audio activations programmatically, so ads on Spotify, Apple Music, etc. CTV or connected TV, so ads on Netflix or Disney Plus. Digital out of home through partners like JCDecaux. This is a massively growing one. And also beyond that, there is other activations we can buy programmatically, such as Uber ads or in-game ads. So, to look at the history a little bit and how programmatic advertising has evolved so far, starting with the sort of 90s and early 2000s, programmatic buying didn't actually exist. And instead, advertisers would have to negotiate for ad space directly with the publishers. And this was with very limited targeting, control, and reporting. So, not an ideal solution for people who want to streamline this process. But then, if we fast forward to 2007, we saw a significant change in the industry. And this is where we saw the early days of real time bidding. And this is a programmatic method of buying. And this was mainly due to the direct route we saw in the 90s and early 2000s, just taking too much time. People didn't want to reach out to people individually. And this is where we then started seeing the rise of DSPs or demand side platforms / programmatic buying platforms, where we could use real-time bidding to bid for ad spaces via ad exchanges and power our campaigns through data. We also saw programmatic marketplaces and created deals come about, and this improved transparency and control. Cross-device targeting became possible, and viewability standards were introduced to increase accountability. And then between 2014 to 2021, DSPs or demand-side platforms began leveraging machine learning to automate bidding, pacing, and audience segmentation. And this was highly driven by the new privacy regulations and the decline of the third-party cookie. So during this time, publishers gained much more control and inventory access was expanded. But if we look beyond this to the current years, over the past few years, we've seen AI completely revolutionize nearly every aspect of digital marketing, and programmatic has massively reaped the rewards from this. So the new age of automated and highly precise media buying means that we can now access more precise and automated bidding strategies and algorithms, and these are more tailored to our clients' needs to help drive performance without the manual work. And these work by using machine learning to analyze real-time data signals, such as user behavior, demographic, device and time of day targeting, to automatically adjust bid prices for ad impressions and real-time auctions. And these algorithms essentially predict the likelihood of a desired outcome. So, for example, that could be a click or a conversion, and they'll bid higher or lower accordingly to meet the campaign goals, such as maximizing conversions or return on ad spend. And said strategies have actually helped drive up to 558% increases in clicks and 250% plus surges in website traffic for some of our clients. We also have access to advanced third-party audience data and predictive lookalike modeling. And these help us reach the right people with far greater precision. And it means less wasted ad spend on audiences who are never going to convert and more focus on users who are more likely to take action. And on top of this, we leverage advanced AI tools that can identify and target new high value users that we wouldn't reach before. And of course, I wanted to bring attention to our own in-house advanced AI-driven optimizations, performance alerts, and attribution models. And this has helped us drive more insightful reporting and results for our clients, but we will speak about that more later. So not only this, but AI has helped us provide better targeting, faster turnaround times, but also more precise placements for our clients. So, whilst programmatic activations have always been pretty AI driven, there's still a lot more advancements that have taken place in the last year or so. And we're entering a new phase of programmatic activation where AI and automation will supercharge efficiency, improve experimentation, and improve performance visibility. So, AI can help us plan more confidently, experiment more frequently, and optimize more intelligently. But how? And we've put this into 4 key pillars. So, firstly, scaled experimentation through AI workflows. Now, programmatic buying platforms or DSPs like DV360 and StackAdapt, which are used to run programmatic campaigns, are starting to embed AI tools to streamline creative, audience, and bidding experiments. So we can expect to see a shift towards always on test and learn strategies where campaigns will continuously evolve based on performance feedback loops. So this means better results and learnings applied at a much faster scale. Automated scenario testing is also likely to be introduced soon, and this will allow the ability to quickly experiment with different campaign variables. So this could include things like creative, audience segments, or bidding strategies without the need for time-consuming manual reconfiguration. So instead of running one campaign setup and waiting weeks to see results, programmatic platforms powered by AI can actually automatically test dozens or even hundreds of scenarios simultaneously. And they can identify which combinations perform best, and then we can use those to scale your campaigns in real time. The second pillar is AI-based attention and engagement scoring. So emerging attention prediction models from partners such as Adelaide, Lumen, or even some native integrations in some DSPs can help evaluate the quality of impressions and not just the quantity. So these models estimate the likelihood of real human viewability, engagement, brand recall, and downstream lift, enabling better optimization across inventory types and improved usage of media spend. Thirdly, we also have smarter scenario-based forecasting. So again, DSPs such as DV360 and StackAdapt are rolling out AI-powered forecasting engines, which is a really big change in the industry. And these can now predict performance under varying conditions. So before, where this was a little bit more basic, we can now include things like bid strategy changes and seasonal trends. And these tools can help predict inventory availability, expected reach, and outcome probabilities before the campaign launches. So this means improved forecasts, better accuracy and accessibility, and it will make it easier for us to plan more accurately for our campaigns. And finally, last but not least, contextual AI and predictive targeting. So again, innovations like StackAdapt's page context AI can use deep semantic analysis to evaluate publisher content and predict the likelihood of user engagement. So these tools power smarter, privacy compliant, contextual targeting, which is critical as behavior signals become limited. So in summary, the next 12 months of programmatic will be defined by intelligent automation, smarter forecasting, and higher quality signals. And this means that we can plan more confidently, experiment more frequently, and optimize more intelligently for our clients. So now looking into some more sort of real world examples and how these have helped us drive better results for our clients. So based on our campaign data, one of our clients delivered a 250% surge in website sessions and a 118% increase in clicks. And that's thanks to the implementation of automated algorithms and bidding strategies versus the standard Google ones we had access to before. And based on both our own campaign data as well as Google data, we've reached 50% more relevant audiences across our clients. And that's thanks to AI-driven like audiences and predictive segments, as well as making our targeting more precise and driving better results. Our advanced AI-driven models for optimizations and reporting have also meant that we've saved 20 hours of work on reporting each month. And that's really important because it means that we have more time to give back to our clients on things that really matter, like strategy, optimization, and planning. And last but certainly not least, bringing back attention to some of our in-house platforms. We've noticed slips in performance much faster through our in-house tool Alexis, which alerts us daily on any performance dips that would usually take longer to be noticed manually. And this can lead us to faster reaction times and better optimizations. So, next thing we're going to cover is how AI is making impact media more accessible, specifically for smaller brands. Because often when we thought of impact media in the future, this was always for the big brands. It was the big TV activations, the big digital out of home activations that were often limited to awareness only. But now AI is leveling that playing field. So let's explore how some of these activations can be easier to access for brands of all sizes. So when we think of impact media, going back to our original diagram, we're thinking of most things outside of the general sort of display on websites and apps. So this will include things like audio campaigns, CTV or connected TV, digital out of home, and beyond activations. So again, there's activations like Uber and in-game. And as a lot of brands will know, some of these formats used to be difficult to access. Creative could often be difficult to produce. Planning was quite a lengthy process, and lack of visibility through managed service campaigns made these activations a lot harder to keep track of. But AI is changing that. And here are a few of our impression favorites, because there is quite a few to cover. So we've narrowed this down to the best three. So firstly, AI generated audio ads. So Spotify's began to roll out AI generated audio ads, which helps advertisers produce scripts and generate audio tailored to the brand's tone of voice and needs. And this advancement is saving clients thousands in production costs, but also helping clients who didn't have access to perhaps an audio studio or a creative team in the past. And this works really nicely as you can pick your voice, pick your brand tone, write your script, or get this generated for you, and then create audio ads without the need to reach out to any further studios and have those production costs included. The second one is the increased brand safety through AI tracking models. So, managed service campaigns, particularly across publisher sites, could sometimes be difficult to track in the past. But thanks to AI models, we're now able to distinguish real users from fake ones by analyzing device fingerprints, user behavior patterns, network anomalies, and ad interaction metrics. And machine learning now allows these models to detect new fraud tactics as they evolve instead of relying on static rules. So this can just help us improve our media spending going in places where it matters. And last but not least, TV ads used to be broad scale awareness campaigns that followed a bit of a switch on and hope it finds the right people approach. Not only that, but it was often thought to be an activation for bigger brands, and smaller brands would sometimes have less access to these. But thanks to AI, we can now apply synchronization across screens, real-time optimizations to max our KPIs, and that's by better targeting and personalization across ads. There's also fraud prevention solutions and tools to help us streamline the previously lengthy creative process. So this is another channel that's been made much more accessible for brands of all sizes. So now wrapping everything up, going over our three key takeaways. Number one is that AI can be used as a co-pilot to help us drive even better results through your programmatic advertising. And this is by making targeting, placement, and creative more precise than ever before. Both AI and automation used in-house has helped us save time on previously timely tasks, so things like reporting, meaning that we can invest more time back to our clients where it really matters. And finally, we can now access high impact media like audio, CTV, and beyond in much simpler and cost efficient ways. So, thank you so much for taking time to join me today. I hope you found this session useful. And of course, if you want to get in touch, please do go and check out our socials or reach out. Thanks.